Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rob. Welcome to The Savage Body, and today I want to talk to you about dieting and weight loss. Look, dieting and weight loss are easy. Or rather, they would be easy, but for three things. We live in a sedentary society. There's a huge money-making industry built around getting people to be fat and keeping them fat. And there's a huge money-making industry built around dieting and weight loss. An industry, you say? Yes. An industry to the tune of $72 billion. $72 billion! For scale. $72 billion will buy you something like 14.4 billion avocado toasts. That would form a stack 182,880 kilometers tall. That would weigh 2.5 million metric tons. And if you dropped it on your foot, you would most definitely break something, possibly the Earth's crust. $72 billion would also buy you 655,000 kilograms of rhino horn, 2.8 kilograms of californium, or 0.0012 grams of antimatter. Personally, I take the antimatter. I'm here for a good time, not for a long time. But $72 billion will also buy you a huge amount of completely useless garbage that won't help you lose weight. 65% of people that successfully complete a fad diet regain the weight anyway. Let me save you a little bit of trouble here. You know all those dietary supplements? They don't work. Electric weight loss belts? Yeah, those don't work either. That's not how reality works. You know all those weird celebrity fad diets? Remember the celery juice diet where people got really good with snap reactive pelvic floor contractions and mapping out by sixth sense the fastest way to the closest bathroom? Yeah, that didn't work either. Folks, I'm gonna give you something that works better than $72 billion worth of diet and weight loss expertise and products and nonsense, and I'm gonna give it to you for free. I have in my hands an article entitled Scientific Evidence of Diets for Weight Loss, Different Macronutrient Composition, Intermittent Fasting, and Popular Diets, published in Nutrition in 2020 by a Dr. Rachel Freer. This is a good one. In this article, Dr. Freer compares three different styles of dieting: macronutrient diets, like Atkins and keto, exclusionary diets, like vegetarianism, paleo, gluten-free, and time-based diets, like intermittent fasting, to see which, if any, offers superior weight loss benefits. Macronutrient diets are based on the manipulation of the three primary macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Common variations on this theme are a high protein, low carb diet, a high fat, high protein, low carb diet. Some diets are stupidly high carb, like the Ornish diet, which sounds like something that Amish orcs would eat on the dark side of the forest moon of Endor. And basically to keep things quick, what all these different macronutrient diets have in common, regardless of what their manipulation of the macronutrient percentage is they all help you lose weight. If you're gonna select one of these diets, you should know a little bit more about them and their overall health benefits. So the keto diet, for example. I hate the keto diet. Dude, what about those little paper strips that they pee on? Yeah, I know. They piss on little pieces of paper. I think that may be part of the joy of keto. Man, I'm glad people aren't shaking hands anymore. Keto is an effective way of losing weight. However, it has potential side effects ranging from constipation, halitosis, headaches, weakness, muscle cramps, potential worsening of a person's blood lipid profiles, and the development of fatty liver disease. Plus, people on keto don't shut up about keto. It's a sort of obsessive kind of diet. You're not supposed to obsess about your diet unless it's the only thing keeping you alive. Remember that they piss on their fingers. Dude, I know they piss on their fingers. I'm not urinating on little pieces of paper because I'm on a certain kind of weird diet. Keto, zone, Ornish, they all work. It doesn't matter what the macronutrient split is. It doesn't matter what the percentage is. As long as there's a caloric deficit and you stick to the plan, you're gonna lose weight. That's how diets work. Dr. Freer does mention that diets that are high in protein, low in carbohydrates are a good way to jumpstart weight loss. However, she does also mention that diets that are high in protein also tend to be higher in animal products. Animal products tend to have more saturated fats, which is linked to high LDL or bad cholesterol. Something to keep in mind. Vegetarianism, veganism, paleo diets, carnivore diets, the Mediterranean diet, gluten-free diet, these are all considered exclusionary diets. Each one has their pros and cons, there's a selling point for each one of them, and there's pitfalls for each one of them too. For example, vegetarian and vegan diets tend to be deficient in protein, iron, calcium, vitamins B12 and D, along with creatine, and if I didn't mention it already, protein. The paleo diet, I actually like the paleo diet. I don't want to like the paleo diet. It's a bit sweaty, bro-y, Joe Rogan bandwagon-y creamier, but as far as the actual food content, I like it. However, it can lead to deficiencies in calcium and vitamin D, which are critical for bone health, neurological health, and overall mood. The gluten-free diet it's not superior for weight loss, but if you have a sensitivity or an intolerance of gluten, it's a no-brainer that you should use this diet. And also, knowing that gluten can increase inflammatory status, increase intestinal permeability, and overall just terrorize your guts, maybe it's a little bit more of a no-brainer for everybody than just a no-brainer. And then there's the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet is considered an exclusionary diet, and the Mediterranean diet, if you ask me, is just about perfect. Oh, she's so beaut. Also, fun fact, the Mediterranean diet is one of the few diets that they've studied where you can be on the diet and not have any meaningful weight loss and still show improved inflammatory and cardiovascular outcomes. So you can just be a big old fat guy sitting on your couch, eating Mediterranean, not losing weight, not exercising, and your heart is going to be getting healthier. I'm not saying you shouldn't be exercising, you should be exercising, but think about it. If you're eating Mediterranean and exercising and losing weight, but the article is talking about weight loss, not heart health. And again, with all these different exclusionary diets, doesn't matter which one you're on, as long as there's a caloric deficit and you stick to it, you're gonna lose weight. None is superior to the other for weight loss. Not sure which one to pick? We've already gone over a lot of options. Well, which one appeals to you? Which one do you like? Do that one. We're talking about fasting here, where you alternate periods of abstaining from caloric intake with periods of normal caloric intake. You know, something like 8 or 12 hours without eating, followed by 16 or 12 hours of just normal eating. Now, really the goal with fasting is to promote metabolic, cellular, and hormonal health, and this can include improving insulin sensitivity, reducing blood pressure, body fat, blood glucose, and heart disease-causing blood lipids. And these are all good things. I love that stuff. Plus, fasting is a great way to embrace the suck during your day. It's okay to be hungry. Most humans for most of human history have been mostly cold and hungry and uncomfortable for most of their lives. You're in good company. Plus, hunger makes you sharper. But again, the purpose of this study is not to determine which dietary approach is gonna make you sharper and a more savage animal. The goal of this study was to determine what kind of diet makes you lose more weight. And again, with fasting, it's a wash. It's no better than any other dietary approach as far as weight loss is concerned. It has other benefits, but it's not superior. There is no superior weight loss diet. Actually, there is, or at least the principles exist. I'm gonna give those to you in a second, okay? Dr. Frere ends her paper thusly. Our limited knowledge allows us to conclude that there is no optimally efficient diet for all individuals to lose weight. In the short term, diets based on high protein, low carbohydrate composition or fasting might be considered as a jump start. However, caution is required due to adverse effects. In the long term, diets such as the Mediterranean diet that prescribe high quality food should be encouraged. Finally, the fundamental point is to adopt a diet that creates a negative energy balance and is based on adequate food quality to promote health. Adherence will predict long-term success. So in summary, she's saying that if your diet consists of good quality food, a calorie deficit, and adhering to the plan, you're gonna lose weight no matter what. You'll succeed, and it won't matter whether you're doing Mediterranean or keto. Hey, but what about... Stop talking about pee-pee fingers. Or Ornish, or paleo, or vegetarian, or veganism, or whatever. Danziger reports that weight loss is related to adherence, not diet type. And Bordelli reported no difference in weight loss between groups when individuals were allowed to pick the diet they were going to follow. Dr. Frere covered 3 principles of a good diet. Here it is, folks. Here's all you need to know about dieting and weight loss. This is the last diet you'll ever need. And I call it, of course, the Savage Body Diet. Rule number 1, eat good food. Rule number 2, don't eat trash. Rule number 3, lay off the booze. 1 gram of alcohol contains 7 calories. An ounce of tequila accounts for 69 calories. A glass of red wine runs 125 calories. A typical beer runs 150 calories. A gin and tonic runs 170 calories. And a rum and tooth-dissolving liquid candy runs for 185 calories. Alcohol also disrupts your hormonal axis, suppresses your metabolism, and subverts your will. Want to lose weight? Lay off the booze. Number 4 is a calorie deficit. The average male requires about 2,500 calories a day. The average female requires about 2,000 calories a day. A pound of human body fat stores 3,500 calories. So if you cut your caloric intake by 500 calories a day, you will lose 1 pound every week, which is sweet. If your caloric deficit is greater than 500 calories a day, you run the risk of feeling like Gollum after he drinks out of the wrong goblet in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It's not a good feel, it's not a good look, and I don't recommend it. If we're talking about a calorie deficit, let's talk about counting your calories. Should you count your calories? I would say no. I think it's a good idea to have a basic understanding of how many calories are in whatever kinds of food you're most likely to be eating, and that's a more sane approach. But if it helps, sure, you can count your calories. I would caution you, however, don't become one of those people that obsess about counting their calories, like those online fitness influencer douchebags that make a living off of selling their mental health issues as if they're noble, virtuous, and empowering. Your diet should be supporting your lifestyle from behind the scenes, not leading you around by your nose. Rule number 5, be flexible. Don't be rigid, cheat from time to time. That's okay. If you can maintain your diet 90% of the time or 5 to 6 days a week, you're good. The more rigid something is, the more likely it is to snap, and the last thing that I want you doing is snapping over your diet. If I laid out as a rule for my personal diet, no more junk food for forever, I would die. I would lose that war, and I would go on a junk food bender, the likes of which the world has never before witnessed. I would black out, I would wake up 4 days later in a seedy motel, covered in a massacre of crawlers with cop sirens in the distance. Rigid diets cannot be maintained except in prison or with the most iron of wills. Which brings me to rule number 6, adherence is king. That's a little crown. It's like a crown. It looked like a crown to me, I don't know. The plan doesn't matter if you don't stick to it. Make it easy for yourself. Ask yourself, how long can I keep this up? And if the answer isn't a cheerful, I don't know, as long as I want, I guess, then you're starting your journey facing the wrong direction.
I implore you to reconsider.
Okay.
Human biology, human physiology, reality itself is a discrete thing. They all follow rules, and the rules for a good diet are simple. Eat good food, don't eat bad food, lay off the booze, calorie deficit, cheat every once in a while, adherence is king. That's it. You don't have to make it any more complex than that. You don't need to buy a bunch of dumb supplements that don't do anything except lighten your wallet. The thing that's great about the Savage Body Diet is it's completely individualized. You can tailor it to your own personal biological idiosyncrasies. Don't like tomatoes? Don't eat tomatoes. If you got a nut allergy, obviously you're gonna exclude that. If you wanna do some fasting, you can do some fasting too. As long as you follow the 6 rules of the Savage Body Diet, you're gonna lose weight. That's it, folks. That's a $72 billion diet right there. And that's all I got. Remember, I'm here to help, and I'm in my office all day, every day. If you have a question, concern, comment, send me a message, drop a comment down below. Do the social media stuff for me. Please do. It helps out so much. And otherwise, remember, lighten the mind, elevate the spirit, and make savage the body.